hand over your right hand. Come down, hold tight, whatever you do, don't let go. Because our brains are slow to process, we don't hold or fold our hands like this often, it makes a mistake. Here's what I mean. Wiggle only your left little pinky finger. Just your left little. And what you're experiencing right now, about 80% of you, you can look, you're not even sure if that's your left pinky finger. Okay, move your right index finger just like this. Nope, that's your left one. It's got to be the right one. That's okay. Okay, move your right thumb. Okay, move your left thumb. Move both thumbs like that. Easy to do. Okay, now you got the feeling for it. But here's what I want you to do next to end this. Take your hands like this and turn them over just like that. No, you're like this. You gotta. I hope you're not driving home like that. Just like okay? No, okay. Work for me. I don't know. All right. Now maybe that made you thinking just a little bit offbeat. When I was going through this museum here, I know there's a fantastic museum. I just got in here this morning, and I'm going to look more at it. To hear the families and the children just oohing and eyeing is exciting. And I'm a science educator. I taught in the middle school for 4 years, and now 11 years at the secondary level. I have about 160 students throughout the day, and besides that, I'm also a magician and a science entertainer. And one of the things I like to do is take my students, put them in a position where they get a little bit uncomfortable, out of their element, and they actually perform for other, a little bit younger school children and public audience of all ages, performing science demonstrations. So when they do it in rehearsal, they go, wait a minute, that's not going to quite work. See, they have a large concept, a demonstration, but they got to break it down to small bits so it's a little bit easier to understand. And it's a good critical thinking for the kids. When they have to do it themselves, it's always a little bit more difficult. There's some obstacles in the way, so going through that's just a great learning process. So during the festival here, and I'm very honored to be here, we're going to do some science demonstrations. We're going to talk about, right away with the kids, inferences and observations. Inference is more as an explanation of your observations as we talk with the kids. But right now, like I'm going to give a test with the kids, I'm going to ask if I could give a test with you. This is not a test of your necessarily inferences, but it's a test of your observational skills. It's actually going to turn into a game. It's called Find the Dice. All you have to do is keep your eyes on the dice at all times, okay? In fact, well, how about this? Keep at least one eye in the dice, keep one eye in the box. How many doors do we have here? 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Take a good look inside, right? I'm going to go ahead and put the dice into one of the doors. You tell me which door does the dice go in. I cannot do this any slower than this. I'll spin this around just like so. I might go back the other way to try and confuse a little bit. And I ask the kids, well, I'll ask you, this is the right door, that's the left door. How many people think it's actually in the right door? Raise your hand. Okay, now how many people think it's in the left door? Raise your hand. Okay, actually a few more, just by a couple people thought it was in the left door. And I can actually show you that it's actually not in there. It's not in there. So it's a real... Okay, I know what you're thinking. It's on the other side. How many people said the right side, just to be sure? Okay, and I can show you it's not on that side. So what's really going on here? I know what you're thinking. Which door should I open? Go ahead and yell it out. That's okay. Go ahead. Kids, yell it out. Go ahead. Both doors. Okay, so this one and the other one. At the same time or different times? You tell me. Same time? Okay, this one and the other one, you can see both doors are open, and the dice is not in there, so that I know what you're thinking, the other two. Well, I'll do that. See, it's really not a big deal. No, I know what you're thinking. What do the kids yell? Open all the doors. Open all 4 of the doors. So 1, 2, 3, and you turn that around. Nope, it's not in there. You want me to turn around, and of course, what I'll do to the kids, I'll turn around like this. Oh, you made the box, well, turn around like this. Well, what about deception? Maybe we're deception. There's a whole area of illusions back there, and science and illusions go hand in hand. But what about this? How many people actually think they've heard the dice slide back and forth? Did you hear it? Yeah. Okay, you remember the second sentence I asked you to do for this game? I said, keep one eye on the dice, keep one eye on the box, right? Remember that? I wanted you to do that, and I think you were successful in doing that, because one thing I didn't want you to do is look at my cheeks. See, I don't do famous people voices. I do, what do you call, mechanical sounds. So look at my cheeks. You can hear I'm making the sound with my voice to make you think. Okay, you don't believe me, do you? I'll let you open the stuff. Take a good look. No, actually, I don't even have the dice. That's the whole thing. The dice is not there. In fact, the dice has been in here the whole time. Let's try that one more time. I know if you think there's got to be a couple of dice. No, I promise you there's just one dice. Remember how we started? We started right here and put the dice here. Had you look inside. Had you look all the way around, right? Just like that. I'm going to take the dice, put them here. This is how we start, but this is what the magicians do. They don't ever reveal the secret. No, they don't, because what they have actually been performing science and magic shows for 3 years. I snap my fingers 3 times. I did that lightly, you didn't notice, but what it does, it turns the color of air. Actually, I had it in my hand when you weren't looking. Did anybody notice when I turned around? Did anybody notice me drop it in the cooler? Did anybody? Did anybody notice me that time? Here, watch one more time, folks. I'm trying to help you out, okay? You know, it would be definitely more difficult than before. And I know what you're thinking. Take a good look. All right, one more time. Here we go. Definitely more difficult. Ready? Where's the dice? Very good. All right. No, and where isn't the dice? Here's what I'm doing. I'm snapping fingers just like 3 times. You take it like, and I have it in my hand. And actually melt right through the box, and it's inside here. It is. I'll check. Yep, it's in there. Now that it's in here, definitely more difficult to take it from here. And put it back into the original spot. So from here to there and back to there again. I know what you think. You don't believe me. Okay, let's see real magic. All right, here, watch again. I take the dice just like this. Ready? Snap it just like that. Toss it inside and yep, it's in there. I know what you're thinking. You don't believe me, but I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Take a good look, and there's the dice just like that. I'll take the dice and go like this, close the door, snap your fingers just like that, and there it is. Voila. There you go. Well, thank you very much. It's a little bit of demonstration of how we're going to talk about inferences and also observation. So it's just something to pique their interest. That's what all this science is about, to pique their interest. So we do some other things here. We can launch science at the Science Festival, get them excited. So I'll have a kite string attached to this, a hair dryer. We have some smaller demonstrations that build up to this using bowling balls. You'll see that at the festival. And I have a kite string. I asked one of the kids from the audience to come on up and if you were to help me out. They can feel we're getting warmer, we're expanding the air. A lot of times things are invisible. It's almost magical, right? To people's eyes. It's not really getting bigger. When we have bridges, we have to have in Wisconsin expansion joints. I'm from Wisconsin, home of the Green Bay Packers, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Just so you know, I'm one of those people that actually drive during winter. Ice forms in lakes. I'm a big fisherman. I drive my vehicle on the ice, a foot or more of ice. I get out, I drill a hole, about 8 inches in diameter, and I fish. Sounds crazy. Good thing that ice actually is less dense. In fact, it's much more buoyant. So I have a child hold on to this, and they're going to think for a while that they're actually going to go up here. Now, at some point, it will come down. By the way, I'm glad these are very energy-efficient lights. And they are. Now, when will it come down? So during this, I'm actually talking, and I'll have a string. And I'll be talking. At what point does it come down? Where is the steering wheel in a hot air balloon? What determines where it goes? At what point does it fall? So there's lots of simple things that you can do with even a simple garbage bag. Just like that. All right. I see those bananas have been hungry. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with those. But I'm going to be making some ice cream for you in a very unconventional way. We do some CO2 demonstrations as well. But we lost a hot air balloon. We made it fly, right? Let's go ahead and make these things fly. So we need a potato. And we need a straw. And so I'll get a couple volunteers from the audience during the festival. And I'll hold on the potato, hold on a straw. I'm going to ask them to try and take the straw and stamp it through the potato. And I give it to them, and most of the time they're not very successful. Then I tell them the secret, the science behind it, the magic of the science. You have to put your thumb in the end. And now remember, aim for the, not the hand, but the potato. It's a very important point. I learned from a mistake a couple times. And then I count at 3. I go 1, 2, 3, just like that. And it goes right through the potato. And in fact, what happens, it's filled with a French fry, a little potato core right here. Okay? And the neat thing about this, if you put your hand here, that gas almost acts like a liquid, because as it goes through here, the volume gets much smaller. Because it's filled with potato core, the volume gets smaller. that pressure is going to be much greater inside there. So they're going to push against each other and be quite more rigid. Now we can take that and expand a little bit more. Again, I get a volunteer. Get lots of volunteers throughout the show, like a magic show. Sometimes they do magic shows, sometimes they do science shows, and then, you know what's interesting? I do from the Green Bay Packers, by the way, Super Bowl champs, I have to say that, to fairs, festivals, schools, museums, even birthday parties. But you know what's interesting? I'm getting calls for science birthday parties more and more. Come into people's home and do science shows. So it's like, I would like to hear that. Now here's what we have. We have a fixed volume of air inside here. It's essentially trapped, and you could use lots of different fluids for that. And if I go ahead and push this through here, we're going to actually make the volume smaller, just like we did here. So we make it a little bit bigger demonstration. Pressure is going to be increased. We've got Boyle's law working here. And I'm going to go ahead and, you know what? I was going to aim there. That probably would be a good thing. Make it more exciting with the audience. I don't know if you ever had popcorn, kind of like popcorn as a snack, and as a kid growing up, you throw the popcorn up and try and catch it. Who did that? Okay, can you catch on a count of 3? Ready? No. Okay, that'd be dangerous. Sometimes we have to wear safety goggles. That could be dangerous. Okay, here we go. I'll put these on. Okay, are you ready? I'm ready. Oh, you're worried about yourself. I'm just going to worry about me here. Just kidding. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put it into place. I'm looking at my angles here, and ooh, look at that. It's getting more difficult. Lots of pressure here. Lots of, it's almost acting more like a solid. It's not, of course. Just like that. Something so simple and easy to do. That's what I like to try and do. And we can do that over and over again. If you have, you could actually do this outside. You could imagine having some vegetables and safety goggles and a little bit of protection, and you could have some fun doing this. And then you know what? You do this a few times, and after a while, if you get the right conditions, kids go, "Oh my goodness, it's smoking." That's interesting. That brings up another question, right? You have your observations, and then you have your inferences. Lots of different explanations for what you saw, your observations and heard, and that. Was it really smoke? We have compressed gas. We have water vapor that forms there, and we can talk about why that kind of stuff is. So it's as simple can get using things from home. The DVDs I'm producing are, because I'm a teacher, I don't have big budgets, and I have to find things for my home. We don't have a budget for school. I think we have like $800 for the whole year. I have 160 students. It's like, you got to come up with your own funds a lot of times, your own ideas. And I got these growing in the garden usually. You know, and this straws, you can take a couple extra from here for a straw. I mean, simple things. So I'm trying to find things that you can do with things at home. So let's try something else here. I don't want to take too much time here. So let's try maybe one more thing. Banana ice cream. You know, those two could go well together. I don't know if you've heard that before. That actually is my mother's favorite meal. Bananas, her favorite dessert, I would say, meal. Home of the dairy state, that's where I come from. When you hear United States, and you hear Wisconsin, Wisconsin is actually home of the dairy states. Lots and lots of agriculture there, although we have some other things going on there too. It's one of the capitals of the paper industry in the United States. It's more Fox Valley and Green Bay area. So you can, and so what we're going to do is we're going to make ice cream a very unconventional way. We have a CO. Now there are fire extinguishers. There are dry chemicals. This is a CO2 chemical. I need to state that. That's going to be needed. Now the neat thing about that, if I had like an aquarium or semi-transparent material, and I put CO2 in there, it's more dense, it'll displace, I mean that's kind of where it displaces the oxygen, so there's not combustion, but you can actually make a little boat out of aluminum foil, and you can actually float that in there. So that CO2 tank would be good for lots of things, so we're going to use it to make ice cream instantly, once you have your ingredients. So we at home have heavy cream, and half, you can mix that together, sugar, vanilla, you want to put some, bananas in there, or candy bars, you could, whatever you want to do. But now that we're set, now it's time to go ahead and actually make the magic happen. So you just need a pillowcase. we're essentially going to turn this on in a wee bit. I don't know if you heard, there's a really nice dress over there. I'm going to do it over here, okay? There wasn't a hi, how are you doing? This is a very expensive dress. Please stay away, sir. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's pretty interesting. I'm putting a little bit of CO2 in the air. Sorry about that. Good thing we have this here. It'll clean it all up. All right, wonderful. So, good thing we all right, so we just need to have this in here. All right. And close it up, and then I'll be done. And I'm over here. Okay. And we have lots of out in here. Lots of dry ice. Solid form of CO2. It's minus 109 degrees Fahrenheit, anyways. I gotta do my calculation for Celsius. Put a little bit in at a time. Starting to come in here. All right. And I missed a little bit, but it'll look pretty cool here. All right, and you mix it up, and basically what you're going to get now is you're going to get carbonated ice cream, temporarily, until I continue to mix it. I did make this at home and other places, and actually it's delicious. I didn't tell my girls what kind of ice cream it was, and they said it was the best kind ever. So that's pretty cool. And some ice cream cones. Our little one, I have 3 and a 5-year-old. The little one just likes the cones, so not so much ice cream. And in an environment which is a little more, I'm just going to do this. I wouldn't normally just do that, but I'm going to do it for the purposes here today because we're just kind of showing some things here. And I'll turn it a little bit here. And you don't want to eat it quite right away. You want to make sure those air bubbles are out of there, but the CO2 will be out there in just a wee bit. So I think we have some bananas coming up next, and there we go. Okay, now there. See, it's getting more like, so this is vanilla ice cream here, and just like that. So it's very cold. You just want to cool it off for a wee bit like that. Yum! Fire extinguisher ice cream. Try some stuff. All right, thank you for your time. I'll leave. My time is up. And just going to ask if anybody wants a French fry. I can shoot a couple more. Hungry? You're going to wait a little bit. Okay, fine. Good. Thank you very much, everybody.